Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this kind of fun, casual reading vlog. This is actually super exciting. This is the first vlog that I'm technically doing since moving into our new apartment. So I haven't really been reading much. I think over the last 2 weeks of September I didn't really read like anything at all. And I mean, like, a few weeks might, like, not reading anything might not seem like a lot to like other people, but I usually read something at least once a day. So having not finished a book in a few weeks feels very weird, and it feels like I'm kind of in a reading slump. But now that we're a bit more settled in, we've kind of done most of the unpacking, we've done most of the moving, I think I can finally start picking up some books in my spare time again. So I thought we'd do a fun little casual reading vlog, because yesterday I got an email from Kindle Unlimited saying that my subscription was being cancelled. I think I had a free trial and I made it so that once my free trial was over, immediately my subscription would end, so I wouldn't have to pay for anything. But I actually love Kindle Unlimited. It was the only thing that got me through the lockdown that New Zealand went into from August to September and now October. So this morning I went and I signed back up to Kindle Unlimited. So that's what we're going to be reading over this vlog, just a few Kindle Unlimited books. There are two that I already have in my library, and both of these were recommended to me from Kindle. The first one is Inevitable by SHAIN. I actually have no idea what this is about. I think this is a brother's best friend romance. For some reason I was thinking that this was an office romance, but looking at this cover, this does not look like an office romance cover. If this is an office romance, make that cover make sense. As you can tell, I kind of just got recommended some books and just added them to my Kindle Unlimited library. I didn't actually read the synopsis for either of these. I just kind of want to get back into reading, so at this point I will pick up anything. The second book that I got recommended was Black Sunshine by KARINA, and this is meant to be a dark paranormal vampire romance, so super excited to pick this up. And then the third book that I wanted to read for this vlog actually doesn't come out until October 4th, and that is Not My Type by EVIE Mitchell, and this is a new release, obviously. This just sounds super fun, super sweet, super sexy. Cannot wait to pick this up. So hoping that over this weekend I will be able to read Inevitable and Dark Sunshine, and then hopefully by the time Not My Type comes out I would have finished both of those and we can just immediately pick that up and get into it. But I'm just super excited to do some reading and excited to kind of just bring you guys along with me. I don't know, I just wanted to do a fun little casual vlog, so I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so I've just started reading Inevitable by SHAIN. I think I said that I didn't really know what this book was about going into it, and it seems like it's a brother's best friend's romance. Brother's best friend? Best friend's brother. Best friend's older brother romance. It also seems a little bit dark and very serious. Basically, the way that the book is laid out, there are kind of a few prologue chapters which are set with the characters in high school, and then I'm pretty sure it jumps to the future 6 years later or something like that. I've just read the prologue chapters where we're introduced. Our main character's name is Aubrey, and I mean, it's not really spoilers because it happens in the very first few chapters, but trigger warning for abusive home life, abusive family. We find out Aubrey's dad is abusive to her and her mum, and we kind of see that Aubrey kind of escapes by being friends with her neighbors. Her neighbors are a kind of a rich big family. Her best friend is Jay, who's 1 year older than her, and then we see that she has a crush on Jay's second brother, his older brother Jax. Honestly, the ages are confusing me. I think there's a 3-year age gap between them, and then they also have an older brother who's away at college. Anyway, the first few chapters were very intense. Basically, you find out that Aubrey comes from an abusive household, and then one night things get very intense. Her dad is super abusive, and basically Jax saves her life. I won't tell you how or anything like that, but he essentially saves her life, and when he saves her life he realizes that he loves her or whatever, and that's also the night that she realizes that she loves him. For real, she just thought she had a crush, but no, she actually loves him, whatever. And seems they have kind of a thing together for a little bit, and then the chapters, the start of the story, ends when Jax leaves. He decides that he's gonna go stay with his older brother who's at college and his dad, because the older brother is staying with his dad while he's at college. Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting from this, but it wasn't this. I don't know, this seems like very, very intense, very, very dark, very serious. So I don't know, I'm interested to see where this goes. I really have no idea how the like present day part of the story is going to pan out. Like when they're older, I really don't know how that's going to go. I'm assuming they're going to like reunite and reconnect, and I'm assuming it's going to be messy and complicated because they've both got shared trauma and stuff like that. I'm a little bit I feel like the pacing is going to be a bit strange because I feel like these first few chapters went by very, very quickly. I feel like there were a few jumps in between like information and plot points, but also that could just be like a little bit of like adding a little bit of mystery to the story. You know, maybe things will be revealed later on, so we'll just have to wait and find out. But yeah, this was absolutely not what I was expecting, so interested to see how this goes. The whiplash I got from simply lying down and reading this book, this was a mess. I finished Inevitable by SHAIN. Literally have pretty much already forgotten the entirety of this book because this book was entirely forgettable. Ended up giving this a 1-star rating. The one thing that I did really like about this book was the like representation, like awareness that the author was trying to bring towards Indigenous women and children who have really rough lives, who tend to go missing, and how authorities tend to kind of just ignore this, how it seems to happen a lot. Like Indigenous women and Indigenous children have it rough, and the author tried to bring awareness to that. I thought that was really great, and the parts of the book where like around that, the plot that happened around that, I thought was the best part of this whole book. Like that was the only part of this book that I actually paid attention to, that I didn't skip pages in, that I was actually invested in. So maybe this book wasn't entirely forgettable. I thought that was done really well, but the relationship, like this is a romance, and this, like the romance itself was not memorable at all. Basically, the whole relationship after the little part at the start where they're in high school, and their whole relationship as adults is just one giant miscommunication trope, which arguably is the worst trope in any book ever. And the way that I could skip through multiple pages and then like read one page out of 10, and the two characters would be having the same conversation, the same fight over the same like miscommunicated issue, and the way that I could probably then skip another 10 pages and then read, you know, a page and have the whole like fight argument, the whole past 20 pages summed up. I think that was like, I think that's safe to say, like that's pretty bad. I skipped through like most of this book, and yet I was still able to understand everything that happened from like the few pages I decided to fully read in between. I don't think that's that great, and I just like I could get what the author was trying to do. I got the characters, I got what they went through, I got why everything was happening. I didn't care. Simply put, I did not care. I cannot be happier to be done with this book. This was a bad book to pick to get back into reading. This was not great. This did not make me want to read. No, and it definitely took longer to finish this than expected. I feel like usually a book like this of that length on Kindle Unlimited, I usually could read in like a day. This took me several days to finish because it was just a drag. That's okay. I'm gonna move on to Black Sunshine. Super excited for this. I hope it's good. I'm sure it's going to be better than Inevitable. Hello, welcome to my bathroom. I have my glass of Sprite with me. I'm just gonna take my makeup off, but I thought I could give you guys a little update on my reading while I did that. Because I finished Black Sunshine by KARINA HALLE, and when I say obsessed, it doesn't even begin to describe how I feel about this book. This was so good. As I said, vampire paranormal romance, well at least I think I said. This follows, oh my gosh, I literally just read this. What are all of their names? Oh my god, you would think that I would be better at knowing this. Give me 1 second. Her name is Lenore. I'm probably saying his name wrong. It's spelled like S-O-L-O-N. Solon. His full name is like Absalom or something weird like that. He's like 1,000 years old or something, so we can, well, not 1,000, a couple hundred. We can forgive him for his weird ass name. Anyway, Lenore basically is just your average normal human girl, except she's not. Once she turns 21, she turns into a vampire. Doesn't know what's going to happen to her because her parents were actually vampire slayers who killed her parents when she was like a baby, so they took her in, I don't know, out of guilt or something. Actually, not out of guilt, but it's very important to the plot, so I won't say anything. Anyway, lucky for Lenore, she doesn't have to go through this whole becoming a vampire transitioning thing by herself because basically on her birthday, well, right before her birthday, she gets kidnapped by our amazing love interest, Absolin. I'm gonna be so caught up on how to say his name because I don't know how to say it properly. Anyway, and I mean, kidnapping isn't necessarily my favorite way to start a romance novel, I will admit. But like, I didn't hate this because it was very obvious that he was kidnapping her so she didn't like go into a crazy like blood hungry like frenzy and like kill the whole town. So you know, I kind of forgive him. Absalom's a little bit sussy at the start, but I actually loved him so much. I think he's one of my favorite romance like love interests that I've read in a while, probably because he's a vampire and I love vampire characters, but like he was really fun. I also really liked Lenore, which I hate to say it, but a lot of the time I feel like female characters are just harder to like because I feel like they're not always written that well, especially in paranormal darker kind of romance genres. Anyway, she was really cool. I really liked her. Loved the plot. I think it was really good. This is technically the first in the series. I think it's a duology, but there's a note at the end and I totally agree. The author says that this can be read as like a standalone. I absolutely agree. I think it could be, but there's definitely more to the story to be read, to be told. I'm definitely going to be carrying on with this, not in this vlog, but like I'm gonna pick up the second book, absolutely. But yeah, this was so good, so steamy, surprisingly very sweet. I'm just such a sucker for like a vampire character or like any character really who's like been so alone for years and years and then they finally find love. It feels so good for them, you know? I love that. I'm trying to think if there's like anything that I didn't really love about this book. I will say I feel like the relationship between Lenore and her like vampire slaying parents wasn't really, I don't know, it felt a bit weird. Like she found out that they were vampire slayers and then they kind of just like moved past it. Like I feel like it was never really discussed between them, or at least not discussed as much as it could have been. But like genuinely, I have no complaints about this. In my mind, this is like, oh my god, such a great paranormal romance book and perfect to read in October if you're looking for something a little bit spooky, but also a little bit sexy. My favorite kind of book, to be honest. This was really good. I wish I had read this first. No, that's not true. I just wish I had never read Inevitable. Anyway, that's that. I'm finally going to start reading Not My Type, which is the book that I definitely was hyped about before starting this video, and it has come out. I think it came out this morning for me, and I mean technically it comes out on the 4th, but because we're in New Zealand, we're a day ahead, it comes out on the 5th. Anyway, it's out. I have it in my Kindle app, reading app, so I'm going to start that tonight. Don't know how many updates I'll give you guys, but I'll chat to you guys about it. Ignoring the fact that the title of this book does make me think of the Omegaverse every time I see the word not, this is such a good romance. I'm currently like 60% of the way through this and I'm just like so in love. This is a super short romance. I think it's only like a 200-page ebook or something like that, and it feels like it's moving really fast and I'm kind of just like wanting it to slow down because I don't want it to be over because it's so sweet. I just feel like this book is going to steal my heart. This is about a woman named Frankie. She is a sexologist and she has her own podcast where she talks about like what's it called? It's called like All Access, and she talks about accessibility with things like sex, but like lots of other things to do with just having disabilities in general. The story kind of kicks off where someone writes into her podcast and asks her about accessible rope play, and Frankie has like absolutely no experience, no ideas about this. So she finds a guy in her town, Jay, who is into rigging. He is a rigger and he teaches like rope lessons, and he invites her along to one and they get along really well. They meet up a few times, they get really close. Jay is a little bit nervous about being in a relationship, so he's a little bit hesitant to like kind of like admit his feelings, but I mean where I'm at so far, things are going pretty well in their relationship. This is just like, both of the characters are so sweet. I just want them to be happy. All in all, like a pretty solid book so far. Like if I had to give this a rating right now, I would give this 4 stars. I do feel like this isn't going to be a 5-star book simply because I'm not like the biggest fan of short stories. Like I can already like tell that I want more from this, and I'm not even finished with it yet. It might surprise me, like I might feel very much fulfilled by the time I finish this and might be able to give this 5 stars. That would be really great, but that's just like a me thing, a personal thing. I think this is like a super great book, and I would absolutely like so far recommend this to people. Super cute. So glad that I picked this up for this vlog. I'm going to just like finish this. I didn't even want to stop and update you guys because I'm having such a great time reading this. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish this, and then I will come and give you guys my final thoughts, and we can kind of wrap up this little reading vlog. Okay, so I finished Not My Type, and overall this was just so solidly good, so solidly sweet. I'm giving this 4 stars, mostly not giving this a 5-star because I just like, it was too short to really get me as emotionally involved as I think I could have been. I would highly recommend this to anyone who's looking for some diverse, sexy, sweet romance. The ending to this, the epilogue, I was tearing up. That was so sweet. Oh my god. I can't tell if this is Evie Mitchell's debut book. I don't think it is, but this is the first in her new series, All Access. I'm so excited for the other books in the series. I'm definitely going to be carrying on with this. We get introduced to Frankie's like friends. We meet all of her friends, and I'm pretty sure they are all going to be like the main characters of their own stories. Super excited for that. This was just so sweet. I'm so glad I read this. If you're looking for something super sweet and super quick, pick this up. I literally cannot recommend this enough. But that's the end of this little kind of getting back into reading Kindle Unlimited vlog. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This was just totally random, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm kind of thinking that I want to do like a few more kind of casual random reading vlogs like this, probably maybe like a bit more sort of like week in my life kind of vlogs, so maybe some stuff outside of reading. I'm not sure. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know. But definitely this month you should be seeing some more kind of like shorter reading vlogs from me, hopefully, for a few reasons, so keep an eye out for those. But that's it for now. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in another video sometime soon.